Good day everyone. So, inulit ni sir yung video because I found out na yung binigay kong unang formula is may error. Actually, yung binigay kong unang formula is 2c plus 2 minus n minus x and minus h. So, n stand for, I repeat, nitrogen, and X is halogen atoms. Example is bromine, iodine, and H stands for hydrogen atoms. Ano ba ang problema dito sa formulang ito? Ang problema nito is ito, yung subtraction. It should be 2C plus 2 plus nitrogen. 2, ang pagbasa ng formulang ganito, hindi yung 2C plus 2. 2 2 atoms of carbon plus 2 minus number of nitrogen minus ay plus dapat to plus number of nitrogen minus number of halogen minus number of hydrogen atoms. Yun yung pagbasa dyan. Okay? I hope it's clear. Basta ulitin natin ang tamang formula is 2C minus plus 2 minus plus nitrogen minus number of halogen atoms minus hydrogen over 2. It is according to different books. According to different books. Ito kasi itong mas madaling maintindihan, no? So may sinend pa akong video. Pero you follow this formula. Follow this formula to C plus 2 plus N minus X minus H. You follow this over 2. Follow that formula, okay? I hope it's clear. So this is the degree of unsaturation. Degree of unsaturation base kay Sinliu. Ito ang main formula. Pero mas prefer ko yung yung unang formula na binigay ko kasi much clearer 'yon. Ito kasi hindi masyado, no? Mas madali yung maintindihan, especially pag may halogen atoms na na-involve and other nitrogen atoms. Kaya mas madali yung ito. Basta carbon in 2C. 2C stands for number of carbons plus 2 plus X stand for number of halogen atoms and nitrogen stand for N stand for the number of nitrogen atoms and H stands for the number of hydrogen atoms. Sunod, always remember that oxygen and sulfurs and other similar atoms are ignored. Ano ba ang example of halogen atoms? Halogen atoms are in the group 17 sa periodic table, no? Nasa periodic table 'yan. So, for example, we have C 11 carbon atoms and 15 hydrogen atoms and 1 nitrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms. Yun. First, you have to write the formula 2C plus 2 minus plus N minus X minus H over 2. That's the formula. No? Then, ano nga yun? C11, H15, and O2. So, 2 times 11 plus 2 minus, plus 1 and oxygen atom is not included, minus 15 kasi wala naman siyang halogen atoms na involved. So, 2 times 11 is 22 plus 2, 24 plus 1, 25. 15 minus 25 is 10. 10 over 2. So, DOU is equal to, degree of unsaturation is equal to 5. Madali lang na. Other example is this one. Ito. Ang mangyayari is 2 times 22 plus 2 plus 2 minus 1 minus 23. Okay, 22, 2 times 22 is 44. 44 plus 2, magiging 46 plus 2 minus 1 minus 23. 46, 48. 48 minus 1, 47. Sunod, over 2, magiging degree of unsaturation niya is 23. Clear ba? I hope it's clear. Na? Dali lang yan. Thank you. Thank you. And please review. This is the I think the most basic part na. So, intermolecular force. Intermolecular force, we have and physical properties of organic compounds. Dispersion forces, also called London forces, result from the instance dipole and induced dipole of the molecules. For nonpolar molecules, the constant shifting and distortion of electron density lead to a weak short-lived dipole at a given moment, which is called instantaneous dipole. No? Ito nakikita nindo dyan sa figure na yan. Such temporary dipoles also induce the electrons in a neighboring molecule to be distorted, and this molecule develops corresponding transient dipoles of its own, which is the induced dipole. The magnitude of dispersion forces depends on two factors. The relative, kay paano mo dyan ng duwang factors, no? Ano yan? Involves two factors sa tandaan. Two factors, relative polarizability of electrons, no? Relative polarizability of electron. Polarizability of electrons. Yan, kipanin yan. So, the simple understanding of polarizability is how easily the electrons get distorted. For larger atoms, there are more electrons in a larger space. Therefore, the electrons are more loosely held and more easily polarized. So, the dispersion force is stronger. Generally, the larger the molar mass of the molecule, the stronger the dispersion force. No? The larger the molar mass, the larger the molar mass of the molecule, yan. Ano na yan? The larger the molar mass of the molecule, the stronger the stronger the dispersion force. No? Dispersion force. Tandaan niya. No? I hope it's clear. So, um, intermolecular force and physical properties of or organic compounds, we have dipole to dipole force. No? The polar molecules are attracted to each other because of a permanent dipole. This type of attractive force is called dipole to dipole force. A uh, permanent dipole is also a type of attractive force. This is type of attractive force. You have dipole to dipole force, as shown below in the electrostatic potential map, no, of acetone. One end of acetone has a partial negative charge, um, and the other end has a partial positive charge, blue. The dipole to dipole force in attractive force between the positive end of the molecule and the negative end of the neighboring molecule. The polarity of the compound can be determined by its formula and shape. For diatomic molecules, the molecular polarity is the same as the bonding polarity. That means all homonuclear molecules like H2, N2, O2, and F2 are nonpolar because of their nonpolar bond, while all heteronuclear molecules like HF and hydrochloride are polar. Na? Yan. Yun yung sa polarity, polar versus non-polar molecules. Tinuro ko na yan sa inyo. No? Sunod, we have ion dipole force. So, the ion dipole force is not categorized as an intermolecular force as it is important non-covalent force that is responsible for the interaction between ions and other polar substance. A simple example is the dissolving of ionic solid or salt in water. When a table salt and ACl is dissolved in water, the interaction between the ions and water molecules are strong enough to overcome the ionic bond that holds the ion in the crystal lattice. As a result, the cations and anions are separated completely and each ion is surrounded by a cluster of water molecules. This is called solvation process. The solvation occurs through the strong ion dipole force. Many salt or ionic compounds are soluble in water because of such interaction. No? So, intermolecular force and physical properties of organic compounds, the BP trend, different substance directly correlates with the total intermolecular forces. Generally speaking, the stronger the overall intermolecular force applied to a certain substance, the higher the BP of the substance. The BP is the temperature at which what do you mean by BP? The boiling point at which the liquid phase of the substance vaporizes to become a gas. To vaporize a liquid, the intermolecular force that hold the molecules together must be overcome. The stronger the forces, the more energy that is needed to overcome the forces, and the higher temperature is required, thus leading to higher blood boiling point. A general rule for solubility is summarized by the expression like dissolve like. This means that one substance can dissolve in another with a similar polarity and as a result with similar intermolecular forces. More specifically, nonpolar substances are usually soluble in nonpolar solvents. Polar and ionic substances are usually soluble in polar solvents. Polar and nonpolar substances are insoluble to each other. Determining the polarity of the substance has already been summarized in an earlier part. Na, pinahiling ko na yan. Yan duman sa module. Yan duman sa libro. No? Water, methanol, and ethanol are example of very polar solvents that can form hydrogen bonds. Ether, ketone, halide, and ester are polar solvent as well, but they are not as polar as water or methanol. Non-polar solvents include hydrocarbons like hexane, benzene, and toluene for large organic molecules, however, it may not be so easy to simply call them polar or non-polar because part of a compound may be polar while another part may be non-polar, such as polar or non-polar parts of a compound are often described as hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Example of this is in biology, no, pero I don't know if you know it, yung sa lipid bilayer, no, yung ang itsura, may pag ganyan-ganyan, so may ganyan, lipid bilayer yon sa biology, no, it it is composed of polar and non-polar hydrophilic and hydrophobic uh, parts which allows the water to enter and the water not to pass through, no? Yan, yun yung ano niya. Parang ganon, no? It's an example of hydrophilic and hydrophobic. It's not an example of compound, but I think you have, para ma-imagine do kung anong ibig sabihin kong hydrophobic and hydrophilic. But I know you know it already because you're already second year, tinukdo na yan. De pwedeng da yan tinukdo, no? So, hydrophilic means, hydrophilic, tandaan, hydrophilic, water-loving. Water-loving. Hydrophobic is, hydrophobic, takot sa tubig, no? So, takot sa tubig, yan. No? Fearing or avoiding of water. Do you know an animal who is scared of water? No? Di ko aram. Ayaw kong aram na kung anong hype ang takot sa tubig. Basta, hydrophobic at hydrophobic, takot sa tubig. Hydrophobic. No? Mamanggaroon si endong hydrophobic, no? No? Okay. Yun na. Hydrophobic is water-fearing, saka or water-avoiding. Yan. Hydrophobic. I hope it's clear. Boiling point saka solubility. I hope it's clear naman, no? Naintindihan man yan. So thank you for watching this video and I hope that you learned something. Please review, no? Mag-adal. So magibo na naman ang video about sa mga other example na mga problem solving for chapter 2. Then I will send problem solving about chapter 1 din, na baka magluwas to sa exam, just in case adalan hilingon, no. I hope that you're doing well, you rest, you review, no. Our exam is 1 to 100 and I hope that mag-adal, no. Kaya yan, tiwala lang, no. Nagtauman ako mga extras, no. Kaya sana adalan, no. It's 1 to 100. Kayang-kaya yan. Okay? Have a nice day and I hope na you study. Okay? Bye!